We are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong, and tonight we are going to get into the discussion of how do you overcome being uncomfortable and being on camera? How do you overcome camera shyness so that you can build and develop a strong camera presence when you press record and record your next video? Unfortunately, for new content creators and even some who have been in the game for a while, they struggle with this, and there are deadlines that need to be met. There are opportunities that are presented to them, but yet they struggle to be comfortable in being on camera. And so tonight, get this right. Tonight, we want to talk about 5 tips on helping you how to have great camera presence for your next videos that you record. And we're starting right now. Praise the Lord. Welcome to the huddle. Welcome to this new series on working class content creators, on growing their YouTube channel and getting more views and making money online. I'm your host, Walter Strong, and tonight we are excited about this new series that we are kicking off tonight. And so let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live in the chat as you get the notifications. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag Team Replay in the comments section. And so without further ado, we're going to kick off this episode on how to have great camera presence in recording your next videos that you publish on YouTube. Now, as advertised, we were going to have a guest tonight. We were going to have the 24-hour boss with us tonight, who was going to be having this discussion with us. He really has some great tips and content on this topic, but because of a pressing family matter and need, he had to unfortunately bow out at the last moment. So we will get him back on a later episode, but we're going to continue and move forward with this show. We've prepped, we've promoted, we've put everything together so that this can be a great episode on helping you to become more comfortable in being on camera. Do you need to buy the latest expensive Sony or Canon camera to be able to get comfortable? No. What you need to do is start with what you have. And if that's your iPhone 17 or having a smartphone camera that has already 4K built into it, you use that and you get started with what you have. And so tip number 1 in helping you to be overcome camera shyness and get you to the place where you're comfortable in being on camera, you have to embrace the awkwardness. There is truth be told, there is an awkwardness to getting in front of a camera and beginning to record and to share your thoughts, share the things that are important to you to a viewing audience that you don't have in front of you. It can be challenging, it can be awkward, especially when they are not in the room with you and you have to publish and upload that video for viewers to watch with the expectation, with an expectation, with a desire that you want it to be the stamp of approval of you getting views and likes and comments from that. And so that can be an intimidating thing. But when you learn to embrace the awkwardness, you're able to kind of push past the nervousness. You're able to push past, those thoughts of how you sound on camera, how you look when you make mistakes, when you're recording a video for the first or the second, third time. You're able to embrace it and get yourself in a place where you're comfortable, where you're relaxed and you're looking at the lens of the camera. Embracing the awkwardness of recording a video or even going live when you have a live audience watching you right there in the moment, whether if they're in the chat and they're responding or they're not, that can be awkward. But if you stay focused on your goal, you stay focused on your why, you stay focused on the story and the message that you want to share, you will be able to embrace the awkwardness. A second tip that I want to share with you is be willing to make eye contact with the camera, with the lens that you're speaking into. Yes, you don't have someone sitting across from you, but you are making eye contact as if the viewer or viewers are sitting right across the table from you. You're at Starbucks or wherever your favorite place is to have your favorite beverage, and you are just having a great conversation, kicking back and just catching up on old times. When you approach having a discussion with viewers on camera by making eye contact, that lets them know you view them as important and you want to speak to them the same way if you are a spouse and you are having a conversation. If your wife is trying to get your attention, but clearly your attention is focused on the latest sporting event that's on the television at that moment, your wife can clearly see that your eyes are not and she'll say, "Hey, eyes on me, eyes on me." The same thing as a parent and talking to their child. If you see that your child is focused and distracted on on a different thing or on the latest video game, and you're trying to talk to them about something important about their schoolwork or something important that they need to do in terms of their responsibilities on the home, what are you going to say? Eyes on me, eyes on me. And so making eye contact with the camera is letting the viewers know that you value them as important and that you have something important to say to them that you know that's going to add value to them. And so embracing the awkwardness, number one, making eye contact with your viewers. And when you make eye contact with your viewers, you are not being robotic, but you're being authentic. I need to say that again. When you're making eye contact with your viewers, with the camera, as if they're sitting across the table from you, having a great conversation or having an important conversation, you are not being robotic, but you're being authentic. Which brings me to tip number 3. Tip number 3, how do you learn how to develop and have great camera presence and recording videos on YouTube or going live on a live stream? Sometimes you got to use a script. Using a script when you're first starting out can kind of help you focus your thoughts so that you don't wander and go off on a tangent or going into a different direction or having a squirrel moment where you start out on one set of points on a topic, but then you see a squirrel and you go into a complete different direction and you start going on a tangent. So using a script can help you with your camera presence, helping you to be in a room, in a place where there is no distraction, there's no noise. You have a pretty much clean desk. You have some things in the background that kind of complement. All of this works with you using a script, and so sometimes using the script can be, if you're a person who has to write it out point by point by point, if that helps you with doing an in-person presentation and you need to now do it in front of a camera, you do it, point by point. For me, I use bullet points. Using a bullet point of 5 tips helps me to stay focused on the 5 points that I want to get across in a short amount of time of the episode that I've allotted to. Now, using bullet points does not necessarily mean that if something comes about within the discussion in the live chat, or if I have a guest on and an important point is being made that we may need to stay a little longer, yeah, you can do that. But the script helps you with camera presence. The script, whether if it's a full script or a bullet point, is going to help you with your confidence. And again, making the eye contact, being authentic, and just embracing that awkwardness. A lot of us as content creators, when we first start out, we're not professional actors from Hollywood. Not most of us, where we're comfortable in being in front of the camera, like a Chris Evans, Captain America, or Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, or Chris Hemsworth. A lot of us are not like that. Most of us are ordinary people who have a passion that we want to share and publish a video on YouTube with the hopes that it will add value and improve the quality of someone's life. The do's and the don'ts of what you should be doing on video and how you should be doing it, and how long you should be doing it, a lot of that comes later. But when you're first starting out, or if you've been doing this for a while and you just are not comfortable, being able to use a script will help you with your camera presence. Hey, if you are in the live chat tonight, let me know in the live chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live in the chat. Give me a thumbs up as well. Let me know where you're watching me from and what's your YouTube channel topic about. If you have a YouTube channel and you are posting videos, let me know in the chat what's your YouTube channel about. Which brings me now to tip number 4. Let me just move my run of show script down some. Which brings me to tip number 4, and I have here, what do I have? What do I have? Script. I think I go a little further. Acknowledgement. Yes, tip number 4. Repetition helps build your confidence on camera. Repetition helps build your confidence on camera. Repetition helps you to have great camera presence when you get in front of the camera to press record. So how can you build your repetition and your comfortableness in being on camera? Well, the example that I love to give content creators, whether new and existing, is instead of responding to text messages by regular text, you take your phone, your in this case, this is an iPhone 13. You take your phone, and when someone sends you a text message, instead of responding back by text that you type or through voice text, take, just a few seconds, hit the camera, press record, and just record a short response to the text message, and then upload the video to respond to them. Now, that's going to do a couple of things. For the viewer, it's going to show them that you value them, that their message was so important that you were willing to go to the next step to give a personal video message to them and to their response. That, again, that's the eye contact that you are making on your camera in front of your lens when you press record to record a video or you're doing your live stream. And so doing a video message, it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be a 20-minute podcast, but a short 60, less than 60 seconds. That's a YouTube short. That's a reel, right? So instead of sending the text message, do the video message. Make eye contact with the camera and just record your message that you need to respond back to. Now, the benefit you will get out of it is the more you do this, the more you build the habit of making eye contact in front of the camera. You make the habit to be able to speak clearly so that you can be heard. Now, am I saying get a lavalier mic and attach it to the phone so you can have better audio? Well, if that's what you want to do, Then go to the next step and spend $20 on a lavalier phone. You're thinking like a content creator, like my man, 24-hour boss, who's in the chat, which I appreciate. Who though had that immediate family matter come up, just still taking the time to say, hey, let me jump in the chat on this first episode. So I appreciate that. But take the lavalier mic and you're making eye contact with the lens of the phone. You're making sure that your audio is good. You're focused on how you look from a presentation standpoint. I think a lot of individuals who struggle with being comfortable on camera and having great camera presence for their video is because of their presentation, the package that they have in front of the camera. Now, if you think about it, for our ladies, they got to put up makeup, they got to do their hair, they got to make sure they got the right jewelry on, they got to make sure they have the what type of appropriate necklace or chain they have on. Women, they're a little more detailed with this. With us as brothers, we got to make sure, hey, yes, our teeth are brushed. We got to make sure our hair is, if you got hair, I really don't have too much hair left. I'm rocking the Gary Payton and the Michael Jordan ball heads, or if a brother from another mother of another race, like you're rocking the Kojak with a Kurt Angle. Hey, you rock it, but you want to make sure the presentation looks good on camera, and you do that. The repetition, the more you do it, the more you become more comfortable in being on camera. Now, let me hammer this point home for you. I had a couple of months ago, I had a friend of mine in church approach me, and they said, Walter, I need help. I need help. And I says, what you need help with? I need to be able to record a video because I've been given an opportunity for my business to qualify for a grant that will help me to expand my daycare business. I said, oh, great. So what do you need from me? She said, I just am not comfortable in being on camera. What are you talking about? You've been on camera many times. She says, no, recording myself and recording it because I have to submit it to someone and I'm uncomfortable. I said, okay, we're going to run through these tips. I need you to embrace the awkwardness. You're going to get your mobile phone. I told her about getting a tripod so that we can stabilize the phone. We're going to embrace the awkwardness. We're going to make eye contact with the camera. We're going to use a script, bullet points, preferably, because I'm a bullet point person. You hit your points on you telling you making your presentation to the viewer or viewers who you are, what your business is about, how you serve your community, and the goals of what you're trying to accomplish with the business, and how applying for this grant, if you are awarded said grant, and how it's going to help with the expansion of your daycare business, and how, most importantly, it's going to change the quality of young people's lives, not just for today, but tomorrow. So we ran her through these things, and we talked about the repetition, and we'll get to the final point in a minute. And so she recorded the video. I asked her to send it to me so I can just kind of check it out, give her a couple of tips on it, gave her some points and tips on it. I even, she took her regular version and she submitted, but I even went a step further and added her some B-roll to the video. So I said, if you need to submit another video, the same video, you got some B-roll to it. So if you were applying for another grant somewhere else. So she did that. And after that, I really didn't hear anything else about in terms of how it turned out until about 3 weeks later. I was at home, just in my living room, just kind of chilling and everything, listening to the news. And then what do I hear on my local news about an individual who had just been awarded a set amount, and I'm going to say anywhere between $2,500 to about $5,000. I'm going to keep a range. I'm not going to tell you the exact amount. My point is, She followed these tips on learning how to build her camera presence and being comfortable on camera, and she was awarded the grant for her daycare business. And I said, man, let me tell you something. That's better than a silver play button of having 100,000 subscribers and having 1 million views on my YouTube channel. To hear that she was able to be awarded that grant, and now she's able to expand her business based on those fundamental tips on learning how to build your camera presence and being comfortable on camera, that, man, that just did my heart so good. And and I've shared with others that I've talked to, just you know and just throughout my normal day, uh employees working for another company, and yet they want to start their own business, and being able to go on video, but yet they struggle with this same fundamental issue and being comfortable on camera. And I shared that story with them, and I said, when you're ready, here's my number, here's the YouTube channel. You let me know when you're ready to get yourself out of the gate. And so repetition builds confidence. Not only will repetition build confidence, but now when she walks into her daycare business and she sees in this new place where it's expanded, and she has more young people coming to the daycare center, that's going to shoot her confidence up to the roof when she has to do her next video. Because I already told her, you got another video, more videos you're going to need to do. That's going to help. And that's helping our small business owners. That's helping our small business owners through the power of video and content creation. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this episode on how to build and have strong camera presence for your videos that you got to publish on YouTube, let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live. Click that thumbs up button for me. Give me that thumbs up. That lets YouTube know not only do you like the video, but this is an episode that more people need to watch. So that helps this content to get in front of more people, such as my friend who they want to be able to take advantage of business opportunities and grants and scholarships, but they just need to build their confidence and get comfortable being on camera. Oh yeah, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for me. Subscribe to the channel and be a part of the conversation here on The Huddle, which brings me to my final tip. And then I'm going to just jump over here to the chat because I see 24-hour boss is lighting the chat up. And that is, have fun being on camera. Now, naturally, I am an extrovert. I don't apologize for that. It's interesting, side note, having a squirrel moment. My wife, who I've been married to for 25 years, she's an introvert. And I tell her all the time, you sort of balance me out, where I'm more outgoing, I'm more comfortable in being in front of a camera. She's not comfortable in being in front of a camera. I was like, come on, I want you to do an episode with me. She's not comfortable. My daughter, same way. Introvert. I'm an extrovert. Now, it's interesting with them. Once you kind of get to know them and who they are and the things that they're passionate about, they'll open up just like that. But my point is, when you are comfortable in being in front of a camera, you got to learn to have fun. Let your personality come out. Not only be authentic, don't be robotic, but let your personality come out. Let people get to know who you are on camera. Are you going to say 3 or 4 times or more? Yeah, you will. Will you mute yourself on your microphone a couple of times? Yeah, you will. But let people get to know your personality. I see the value and the benefit of using AI tools and technology to help buy back our time. However, we can't allow various AI tools and technology to buy back our time to the point where we lose who we are and we cause the viewers not to see who we are. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Makes sense to me. And so have fun being on camera. You know, even when you're recording your videos and you mess up, just go with the process. Even some of the big and established YouTubers that we know. I think I was listening to an interview with D Nimmin with his brother Nick, and he was saying he still messes up when he's recording a video. It's a part of the natural progression of making a great quality video. But you're having fun. And that's what I need you to do. For you to be able to have great camera presence for your videos, you gotta have fun. Gotta be willing to laugh. I'm not a bloopers person. I'm not gonna throw some bloopers in my video. But yeah, I'm gonna have some blooper moments on my live streams. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with having some blooper moments because I'm having fun, especially when I have a small, intimate audience watching me live, whether through the vertical feed or through the horizontal traditional live stream. And people are getting value from the message that I feel is relevant. And I strongly feel in this first episode of the Working Class Content Creator series that we're kicking off, this is very relevant. And so as the weeks progress, more and more guests are going to come on, and we're going to build on this foundation on helping you to be a great working class content creator. Now, notice I didn't say full-time content creator. This in particular. Now, if that's the goal later down the road, well, we'll get you there. We'll play a part in getting you there. But this is for working class content creators who want to create content on YouTube, but have a 9-to-5 job. This is for content creators who work hard for the money, as Donna Summers once sung, but have family responsibilities with their marriage and with their children, or you have other personal commitments in your life. And so that's what this series is about. And it's about helping you to build great camera presence on camera. Hey, if you're getting great value, take these glasses off because I want to read a couple of comments. If you got great value, do me a favor, click that like button, hit that thumbs up, and yes, subscribe to the channel. Let's jump over here to the chat. I see a couple people jumping in with us. Mr. Ted Troublemaker. She works hard for the money. Yeah, that's what Donna Summers said. I know you working hard for the money, Tech. I know you are. I know you are. You ain't being shy. You working hard for the money. Let me see who we got here. Make sure I read this comment. Mary Ann. Okay, I guess this looks okay. Mary Ann. I'm going to say Mulchahy. Want to thank you. Hello to you for being on the huddle for the first time. I'm glad that you decided to scroll by and stop and just to say hi. So we appreciate it. And then, like I said, I'm carrying the torch for you, sir. We're looking forward to having you on. We hope that all the family concerns are being addressed. Our prayers are with you, but thank you for letting me know the great tips here. What else does he say? Going in reverse order. It is well. Perfect. Good. We just want to make sure everything is well with the family. Everything is with the family well. Perfect. Yep. And so, in summary, before we go ahead and bring this episode to a close, in summary, we want you to be, as a working class content creator, one who's willing to embrace the awkwardness. It is. I think I heard another content creator this week on his live stream. He was saying, I still sometimes have that awkwardness of being comfortable on camera. It's true. But, I also heard on Florence Donald, who's going to be our guest next week, who's going to be talking about how to remove the friction from your content workflow. Oh, that's going to be a doozy, because most of us don't have a team helping us. See, I'm having a squirrel moment here, so I got to remember why I was bringing this up. But she's going to help us to really tackle on how we can remove that friction. And see, I just had a squirrel moment. I was talking about one thing and then I went to Florence. Boom. And now I'm back. So I was listening to an episode she did on her show. She had a guest on, and the guest was talking about, there are times, whether if you're doing a video presentation or in-person presentation, you have the butterflies in your stomach. And what do you do when you have the butterflies? You have all that nervousness, the awkwardness of being on camera. Man, what this guest said, and I can't remember his name. Oh man, I like to jumped out of my seat. I said, "Oh," he said, "the way you deal with the butterflies is you acknowledge them, but you make them fly in formation, and then you hit your presentation." I gotta say that again. That's a great clip right there. When you are dealing with being uncomfortable and being on camera and you feel awkward in doing this here, you have those butterflies in the stomach. Hey, you embrace the awkwardness. You embrace that the butterflies are flying in your stomach. You make them fly in formation and you nail your presentation. That's how you build strong camera presence. I'm not going to drop the mic because I need the mic to continue to talk. Hey, hit that thumbs up for me. That lets YouTube know that this is quality content that need to get in front of more viewers. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Well, that's it. The goal for these series, next week we'll have Florence. We want to keep them between 30 to 45 minutes because we want the replay value to be rich and of great value to those of you who will be watching. Again, I want to thank those who are watching me live in the chat and who have watched me live in the chat. And we're excited. We're excited about this new series, bringing on and interviewing guests each week. We won't be doing live streams on Sunday because we just want to focus on these interviews and then just pull some repurposing from these videos. But tonight, this is the kickoff, and so cool. It was just me flying solo, but we're excited. As I said, next week, the real deal, Florence Donald. And then if you are a Christian content creator and you want to be able to have a channel, a YouTube channel, a platform that is going to be making kingdom difference in the lives of people to know Christ, we got our brother Lewis Rollins II, who's going to share with you what you need to do to build a successful Christian YouTube channel. This brother has a silver play button. I think last time I checked, he has over 187,000 subscribers. I think he got something to say on that topic. A lot of people talking about faith-based and Christian content. Well, let's get someone who put in the work and who has a silver play button to let you know how to make it work. Until then, we'll see you next Friday, 8 p.m. here on The Huddle. God bless.